Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that little cinematic teaser there, as much as I enjoyed making it. So I used to be a wedding photographer, so I do love things looking pretty cool and pretty neat, and a lovely way of obviously showing off the miniatures as well as the terrain that I built. And I'm sure like many of you guys, I kind of almost prefer the building of dioramas and terrain and painting miniatures than actually playing the game. It's only Kill Team I play, but I do like making up board games. Especially the sort of square tiles that you can put together to make up a bigger board, or use them as dioramas, which is obviously what you've just seen there. So let's crack on and show how I made a Necromunda tile. Yeah, better than Games Workshop, I reckon. You tell me. Right, let's crack on and get into this before I just start waffling already. So I started by printing the floor tile on my Bamboo Lab A1. Yeah, really loving the FDM printers, because obviously with these you don't get any warping like you do with the resin printers, especially floor tiles. Anything thin, after a while, or sometimes even straight away, it can warp. Obviously at the moment I'm still using the resin for the main sort of bits and pieces, although again I will be changing this and using the FDM printers because they come with a small finer nozzle, so I should be able to get this kind of detail, or near enough to this detail, using that. As you can see, yeah, I've printed off a whole variety of pieces, and this is the bit I love. Obviously with these tiles I make them up exactly how, well, I want them to look, and I always have in mind that I'm going to be using them as a diorama, probably for mostly a diorama, and then secondly as an actual tile to play a game on. This is the say the fourth tile I've made in this sort of Necromunda style, and everything you see here and everything I've done in the previous ones I got from these. So this one I'm doing is a Rot River pub. It's from the Riser district. So this is by a lovely company called Print Minis. You'll have seen me use them before, and one of the things obviously I love about their stuff and what I can do with it, it's all very modular and customizable, so you can mix and match bits and pieces. It all fits in and works perfectly together. So even if you look at their older stuff, yeah, it's all meant to be able to merge into one, which is just great because it means I can just print a shed load of their bits and pieces off, and then I know I can put them all together and make up, well, some awesome looking tiles. I will leave links down below so we can see more of Print Mini stuff, but as you can see, yeah, a whole variety of terrain packs and miniatures, and they do a whole range of vehicles and monsters as well. So yeah, anything sort of Necromunda style or Grimdark style, or even just your normal like Warhammer style, yeah, go and check them out. So as I say, printed out loads and loads of bits, got them all ready, got my board, and now it's a case of, this is the bit that I think is more fun, rearranging them to how I think, well, they're going to look good. So as well as arranging the bits on this tile, just to make sure that I can put this tile up against the other tiles that I've made and they all work together, I am also thinking about how well I can film this to have obviously the miniatures in there. But the thing I do like about the Print Mini stuff is, I say, the amount of detail they put into things, especially things that you're probably not even going to see. So a lot of the stuff here, it's on the inside, but just looks, well, absolutely amazing. So their attention to detail is bar none. I say, the fact that they put stuff on the inside of stuff is just amazing. So I say, because I am thinking about how I'm going to try and film this and take pictures, I want it to be sort of quite high for the background. So yeah, I've just printed out some more of their bits. Basically, I've taken some of their bits, taken it into good old Tinkercad, cut bits, put bits together, and then printed out some obviously larger sort of tiles. And this is what I've come up with. I love how it's look. I'm definitely thinking about how I'm going to be able to film it. This is what I mean again about the level of detail. So these bits, the inside, there's so much detail there, but you're not going to see that because it is literally on the inside. Although the great thing here is, if you wanted to make, well, the inside and then looking out, you could use these in the reverse way and you'd have all that extra lovely detail. Obviously I'm going to be putting some of these bits in last because I am going to be making them look a little bit neater. Plus I love putting LEDs in things, so LEDs are going to be used in this build. That's why I've not put the roofs on top of the little bar counter areas. So it's all coming together looking really good, but that's the problem now. It does look too good. So I need to mess this up a bit. because obviously my preferred style and look is very grimdark, very rusty, and these places look like they've been standing for 50 odd years but haven't stood the test of time. So initially I'm going to put down some little stones. These are just going to go around the nooks and crannies areas, just to hopefully make it look like, well, there's dirt, dust, all that kind of stuff. And as I say, the actual terrain itself, it looks too neat, too tidy. This place has been shut up so many times, but it's a bar. There's going to be some brawls in a bar. So yeah, using my little cheap Dremel tool, I'm just going to add some bullet holes here and there, as well as plenty of, well, damage to, well, to everything really. This is where sometimes I do go a little bit over the top, but I kind of have fun destroying stuff. Obviously wear a mask, guys, well ventilated area, all that health and safety stuff, because the resin, yeah, you don't want to be breathing in the dust from any of that. So as you can see, guys, I have finally got a little squirter spray bottle that I can use now and put some PVA glue and some water in, just because, yeah, I didn't have it before and I was using the syringe. So I've got some finer stones and sand, and again, I'm putting this everywhere because this stuff works really well when you do make something look really rusty. Having this stuff come through just gives, well, the metal or whatever it is underneath a bit of texture, but the rust kind of texture, because I say this is going to be a rust bucket without a shadow of a doubt, because all the other tiles I've made, yeah, they've all got the rust bucket theme. So obviously I'm sticking with the same with this. Although these top bits, they look more like they were at the bottom of the ocean, I think, with the Titanic. Yeah, I may have gone out 2 OT with the sand on them ones. So primed in black. Oh no, it's not black, is it? It's primed in silver. Well, it looks kind of like black. But yeah, no, definitely primed. I can't remember what I did, guys. This is where I work on several videos at once because I love making things. And yeah, and I've slept since, and I've got a memory like a sieve. So this is obviously rust. Guys, you know by now, with me and rust, it's always dirty down. I love this stuff, and I always say it, it's magic in a bottle. So I put it in the lid, so it's nice and neat. Then I've got my little bit of water, and then I've got a dry brush. Again, this isn't really the best tool for the job. You should be really using some old brushes. But for me, it's a case of whatever I've got lying around. And yeah, it's this dry brush. So I put it on nice and neat in some areas. Then I get my brush nice and wet. So I almost kind of use this as a wash as well. So every single part of this build is going to be covered in this stuff. Some bits are going to get the neat dirty down rust on them, and some bits are just going to get the watered down. But again, this gives some lovely little sort of streaky bits, which just goes off really, really well. But again, you get the nice variation in the bits that have got the undiluted dirty down rust. They come out beautifully rusty, and everything else, I say, it's like a kind of a wash, which is why, yeah, I happily go over every single inch of this build with this stuff. It does take a little bit of time to dry. You can use a hairdryer to speed up the process. But if you've seen me, yeah, I have not used a hairdryer since, well, the late 80s. So I don't have one of them. So I left mine overnight, and this is the result. And as I say, it really is magic in a bottle. Love how it's come out. And again, there's some bits that are rustier than others. And where I've used that really sort of like watered down bit, you then get the streak lines as well, which is just awesome. And that variation in, say, some of the bits that have been diluted and some of the bits that are undiluted, you do get that nice little difference in the colour. So some bits are browner than others. And I say this is definitely, I think, off the Titanic, because it's beyond rusty. So that's everything rusted up. Obviously I want to make it look like it was originally metal, so it is now a case of going around doing a bit of dry brushing. So using the good old metallics paints here from Army Painter. I do love using their paints because they are very high in pigments, so yeah, really nice and lovely to use. And yeah, dry brushing, going around hitting all the edges, raised areas. Try not to do too much of this because obviously I don't want to be a lot of metal coming through. I do want it to still look obviously very rusty, but yeah, just hitting all those raised areas. And there we go, there's one lovely rust bucket of a tile. Obviously a bit too rusty, so I'm going to add some colour to it, but not too much. So the idea here is to add some paint, but make it look like the paint's obviously chipped off. So I'm using this, it's part of an old scourer I've just glued onto a lollipop stick, just so I can then sort of like dab this on. And I say the idea here is to make it look like the paint has It has chipped off, come off, flaked off. Either way, there's not a lot of paint on here. And this is obviously the best way of doing this, because obviously if you use a normal paintbrush, or in my case anyway, it can then look too neat. Yeah, even though I try and make it not look neat, it will look neat. So using this little bit of a scouring brush, yeah, you just get bits here and there, and it does simply give the more sort of weathered look, which is obviously what I was going for. So I kind of go over most of the bits with the blue, because I don't want to put too much colour in it. I'm just going to use a little bit of red for this sort of, well, I don't know, this is to be a gas tank, an oil tank. Well, I guess it's my world, it can be whatever I want. It's full of milk. But yeah, so I'm looking at a little bit of different colour to this, just to make it look a bit different. But say, I don't want to add too much colour, because I don't want it to look sort of neat and clean. So those little panels on the inside, yeah, I painted them. They are a little bit neater. There's definitely going to be no rust on the inside, because whoever's looking after the bar has done a better job than the, well, the outside. And so yeah, these bits, they just slot in perfectly. Again, this is where this stuff by Print Minis, it's just awesome, guys. You need to go and check them out, honestly. I've been printing tons of their stuff out just because it looks amazing, fits together perfectly. And I say modular, yeah, that's a word we all love, because it means we can make things exactly how we want. So as I said, I'm not going to put the lids on just yet, because I want to put some lights on the inside. Again, I am thinking that when I take pictures, I want these things to be lit up. But these little lights are cool, because obviously they can flash. Flash fast, flash slow, be on constant, or, well, be turned off. And then just a case of gluing them to the lid. So I've got some on the bottom, or on the floor, some on the top. Again, just because I want to light up those inside bar areas, even though you can't really see too much in there. When you do take the pictures, yeah, it'll just add a really nice effect. Obviously a bit of a scary effect as well, which is cool. And just, yeah, love it. Again, guys, you know me, lights, LEDs, magnets. Yeah, I try and get them involved in all the things. So with these tiles, that's something I really should have done, which I didn't really plan for, and that is put magnets in them. So what I might actually do is all the tiles I've got, put them onto some sort of, like, I don't know, 1/2 inch MDF with magnets in it, just so they will sort of like stay together. That's something I haven't done yet, and I will need to do that probably sometime in the future. So that little cinematic clip you'd have seen before, yeah, I love using smoke as well. So this is the Kostronica smoke machine. I think I've had this about 2 years, but absolutely love it, because obviously, well, it does what it says on the tin. It adds smoke to dioramas, which I just absolutely love, because it does give things a bit more atmospheric, a bit more dingy, a bit more creepy, scary. And yeah, as I say, I love how these come out. So for me, these are tiles, probably more so diorama tiles than being used. So I play Kill Team. Could play a Kill Team on a Necromunda sort of tile set. Also be a lot bigger. But yeah, I mean, I like making Kill Team boards, which I haven't made for a while. So you will see some Kill Team boards coming up soon, as well as Blood Bowl coming up too. So guys, hope you liked this video. Don't forget to check out Print Minis and their awesome array of miniatures, terrain, vehicles and everything else. Honestly guys, you won't be disappointed by checking out what they do. Yeah, another video coming up on the screen soon. Give that a click, see more what I do. And guys, I know I haven't done any sprue videos for a while. I do have a one coming up very, very soon. Well, the end of the week. It's a bit of a collaboration with some other YouTubers. So keep an eye out for that video. And yeah, you guys all take care. So big shout out and thank you before I do quickly go to all my my patrons for helping support the channel. It really does mean a lot. And guys, just by sharing and liking my videos really helps me out a lot too. And obviously clicking on the other video that's on the screen. Okay guys, you all take care. Bye for now.